What is self-sustainability? I mean, really, does that mean that I can grow my own tomatoes and recycle my own milk jugs? Or does it mean that if you were to throw me in the back of a white panel van and throw me out in the woods in my birthday suit that I'd survive for longer than 2 hours? Are we meant to be self-sustainable as humans? I mean, we've been community creatures for so long. Actually, about 200,000 years ago long. That's when Mother Nature caught a bad case of the human, and it's been trying to kick us ever since. So what is self-sustainability? And how does that have anything to do with climate change? That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about 3 big points. We're going to talk about, first, what self-sustainability is, how far we've come from it, how far we've gotten into it, where climate change comes into play, and how all of this has played out over the last several hundreds, we'll keep it to years for now, but in reality, hundreds of thousands of years. Then we're going to talk about some of the upsides and downsides of technology and the influence that it's had on our self-sustainability. And lastly, we're going to talk about what you can do to be more self-sustainable and why you should be. So first things first, looking at this long history we have a lot of time to crunch down in just a little bit. So let's talk about the Industrial Revolution. Late 18th century. For the last thousands of years, humans have been using rudimentary tools and equipment and machines to harvest and extract different ores and minerals and plants and animals, things that are very tedious to do with your own 2 hands. So obviously, with the new introduction of things and objects that we can work with as humans that we've never seen before from across different corners of the world, we want to find the best way to innovate. So we've created technology, we've created machinery, we've created equipment. That's where the Industrial Revolution comes into play. Just in the course of around those 70 years, we depleted roughly 70% of Earth's natural resources according to the Science Times. That is what consumerism has done to us. We have created and crafted our very own toxic environment because we need more. Humans, Americans, consumerism, it's a constant. And the constant need for more pushes us further and further away from ourselves being able to provide those resources. We rely on somebody else to do it. That is when we start to separate ourselves away from self-sustainability. It starts simple. The first time that humans created complex language, that was the beginning roots. Then we started creating trading. That's consumerism. It all led down a very, very long road to where we are today. So, post-industrial revolution, we recognized that something was wrong. Our clouds were gray, our air was thick. We didn't want this. 1972. That's when the first Earth Conference happened. Over 160 countries came together and determined that we did not want the Earth to go up another 1.5 degrees Celsius, or else that meant that we were at a point of no return. That in itself is climate change. That's a very easy, simple breakdown of why we're here, what the expectations are, and where the legal limits are. Self-sustainability and how that falls into it is a different story. That's the bureaucratic, political, big mumbo jumbo. That's how they fix it. That's how they tack down the corporations. Let's talk about us. Let's talk about how technology has changed this for us. How AI has become both an upside, an advantage to us, but also a downside and leading to our own demise. AI is something that's relatively fresh. In the last 20 years or so, we've really seen on face value, every day, AI in the works. It's also proposed a lot of ways for us to become more green and efficient. It's proposed new technologies and machines that'll help us to hopefully revert the environment a little bit back to what it was, but also so that we can rely on ourselves more, which in itself is self-sustainability. However, in that same breath, if you've ever opened up an Amazon app, we know that we don't have the ability to create whatever style of lamp that you just bought off of Amazon. We don't have the self-sustainability to go into the backyard and do that. We don't even have the actual legal ability to do that. You can't just go and cut down a tree from your neighbor's yard just because you want to build a lamp. That has obviously degraded our self-sustainability. So some of this is necessary. I'm not saying all technology is bad by any means. It's actually benefited us a ton, and it has separated us from placing ourselves in inhumane situations where machines really can do the work. However, on a day-to-day basis, this has definitely impacted our ability to be self-sustainable. So moving forward into this, we need to talk about what you can do to be able to be more self-sustainable. So now we know that technology in itself is both a benefit and a downfall. So how about you use it to your benefit? You first can use it to educate yourself and others. We all know where the recycling goes. We all know where the trash goes. We all know where the compost goes. And there's YouTube videos on where to put all those things. It's a little bigger than that. You can also use that same technology to figure out how to self-garden. You can figure out how to fix holes in your walls in your home. You can fix your own car. You can use that for guidance to become more self-sustainable emotionally and mentally, as well as physically. Not expecting people to go out and hunt and forage, garden. I mean, some people are obviously vegans or vegetarians, and the idea of going and killing animals sounds like the opposite of sustainment. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's important to recognize that we're now at a point, we're at a pinnacle of the human race where we rely on technology so heavily that if it's not there, are we going to be able to survive? Are we going to be able to be self-sustainable? We know that our planet no longer is. We have to intervene on that. But in order for our planet to continue to be self-sustainable, and in order for us to intervene on that, then you yourself have to have the means to be dependable, alive, reliable, and self-sustainable. Thank you.